Good morning, everyone. My name is Mateo Lopez Moncaleano, and let me introduce you to our video game, Skylighter 2. It is a 2D platformer, which is the second part for a video game we did on the last HackMT. It was created using Godot and GDScript with the GitHub as its version control. We also publish it on itch.io for everyone to play it, and I will be sharing the link at the end of the video.
Okay, so Godot is a cross-platform game engine made in C++. It has its own scripting language, which is GUScript. It's a Python-like language, as you can see in the photo here, and it's easy to learn and use. You can also use anything that has packages for GD native. Has 2D and 3D support, and it's based on scenes and composition. Godot is built on the concept of scene organization and composition, in contrast with ECS, which is entity component systems, which a lot of other game engines use. Scenes are the basic building blocks of a Godot game. You can see there's a gem scene, timer scene, sprite 2D scene, as you can see in the top right here. Parts can be added and swapped, and it's super flexible. It can be as big as a level or as small as a sprite. It's designed to be visually edited, like as you can see right here, with a drag and drop interface. It's quick to create, easy to modify. ECS is generally faster, but it's more difficult to use. And you can click the link for a blog post by Juan, which is the lead developer of Godot, about why he decided to use scenes instead of ECS.
So while we were working on our game, we obviously took influences from other games. Two of the biggest influences was Zero from the Mega Man X games. A lot of the moves of our character, including his double jump, slide, and three-hit combo, are very similar to Zero's moveset, as you can see from the sprite sheet down below. And when it comes to the level design of our game, a lot of it shares in common with the three-path level design from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, where there's three different paths that each take you to the goal, but some of them are faster and some of them have more obstacles than others.
So the way that we started was that we had all these ideas from the first Skylighter that we did during HackMT, and then we brainstormed ideas on how to improve upon it and how we could have done things better. And since we'd already done a lot of it, we knew what had to be done for this new one. We were making it all from scratch. And so we made big lists like the one you see on the bottom right here about all the things that need to be done for the UI, the player, the world, the enemies, how all these things are going to interact with each other. We put off some things to later, like the sounds and the music, but we basically divided everything up into categories. We set some as priority things, like getting the player working, getting a bunch of gravity and physics stuff working. And then we had many different rounds of testing, setting feedback, and debugging, lots of debugging. And yeah, that was how we progressed.
So as far as design goes for the game, we wanted to give it a pixel art style just so we could have a nostalgic feel, just like Super Mario or something you would play as a kid. We used Sprite and Pixaki as our software choice just because it gave us the easiest time with learning how to pick up creating sprites. All of our animations were done by using keyframe animations, and we used a modular tile set in order to build our levels. And I'll kind of go over that more on the next slide. So as far as level design goes, we wanted to create levels that are both challenging and fun for the player. The objective is pretty simple for each level. You just travel from the start to the finish. And on each of the levels, we have different obstacles such as spikes and skeletons. If you hit too many of these spikes or skeletons, or if you fall off the map, then you have to restart the level from the beginning. We also have objectives such as gems throughout each of the levels. That gives you an incentive to explore, as well as a timer in the top right corner that gives you a reason to try to speedrun each of the levels.
Part of the assets that Godot lets us use is sound, and our team wanted to deliver the full audio-visual experience for Skylighter 2. For this, we composed, performed, mixed, and mastered our own original Skylighter 2 theme from scratch. We used Apple's Logic Pro 10, which is a digital audio workstation, and we used sounds, instruments, and tempo that we felt were in line with the theme and aesthetic of Skylighter 2 and its gameplay. Doing this, we also overcame some technical challenges like looping, time-stamping, and so on.
When it comes to the challenges we faced while working on this project, the major one was learning how to use Godot itself. Godot has a lot of built-in functions, parameters, objects, the works, as you can see, this one object can be inherited by all of these different things. So it was hard figuring out the best way to set movement speed, the best way to build levels, the best way to implement things like timers. We had to look up a lot of tutorials online, watch a lot of videos. And Godot gets updated frequently, so not every answer we found worked on the version of Godot we were using. But after a lot of trial and error, we were able to figure out the best way to make our game, and we created a project that we were really proud of.
For our future plans, we want to add more features to the player character, like ranged attacks using a weapon or some abilities. We also want to add more gameplay mechanics like gliding, in air attacks, or coin collection, and add more levels to our level collection, going beyond our existing tutorial level and group of 3 levels, covering more locations and perhaps more lore in the story's world. This would make Skylighter 2 a more complete and modern video game experience for the user.
Everyone, thank you for watching. Feel free to try our game. Here is the link, or you can take a picture of the QR code and it'll send you to the itch.io page where you can play it in your computer. Now I'm going to make a demo of the game. So once you click it, you get here. You can maximize it. You have arena mode, start game, credits. So let's do the tutorial. So you press A and D to move, space to jump, double space to double jump. You press Shift to dash, left click to attack, or enter. You hold C to crouch. There are moving platforms. And that's it. So we have 4 levels. One is the tutorial, and you should try them all up. If you press pause, you can turn up the music. You can turn it down, or you can turn up the sound effects. You can turn them off completely. Well, you can full screen or just exit. This is the arena mode. You press 1 to spawn skeletons. You should try it and finish all the levels. So here's the QR code again, and you should really try it out.